In today's episode, we're sculpting this, which means we're carving this into this. We'll show you how we do it, work some mad detailing magic, recap our sculpture, and dazzle you with breathtaking cinematics. Looking for top 5 entertainment in just 40 minutes? Then park it right here and stick around. Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, City Sculptor, and you have made your way back to Pengasas Bay. It's great to have you here. Welcome back. And we're looking in on the subject of today's build, and that is our downtown area. Now, as you recall from our last episode, we did the West Edge build out, and we're going to creep our way into downtown, doing the west side of downtown, which is kind of this area right over in here. So it's really kind of everything west of our big couplet that we have that runs down the middle. And we're going to spend a lot of time in this today, just putting in some big office towers, some big office complex, maybe some residential complexes. We're going to tidy up some of our tram lines. We're going to add some decorative gardens, and I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 other surprises along the way. Who knows? Say, before we jump in, I want to show you guys something I put in here in between our last episode. We had a suggestion from Thomas ZK3DG, and he said, I'm missing a walking bridge over the freeway from the gallery to the north. The people will make good use of it. And he was right. We've got this bridge that's coming in here now that I connected to these walking paths up here. And you're seeing a lot of people that are kind of making their way down along over into our tram station here. So great suggestion, Thomas. Keep the good comments coming. Love to hear from you guys. All right. Well, I just threw a lot at you guys. And with all that as a backdrop, let's do this. All right. So jumping in, let's tackle our first block up here. And what I want to do is I want to start by putting in a parking garage, because I think we're going to have a pretty good demand for parking in the downtown space. We're going to start with this overground parking building. It's a big asset, it takes up a lot of space right there, but it's going to actually look good because it'll serve the National Gallery of Arts along with everything that's going to drop down into this space here. And then I'm going to follow it up with an alleyway that runs in right behind it. We're just going to run right along the back of this building here, maybe just come right up straight ahead here. Good. 90 degrees in there, 90 degrees in there. And then now I want to grab a pathway, and I'm going to run a pathway just right up along here. Maybe start in this corner, just work my way right up, just to frame off some 6x6 squares here. And, if I wanted to do this, what I could do is come in here, delete that road. There, now I'll have my 6x6s and I can grid those out. I want to put in low density office in that space, and I'll do that there. We'll wait for that to turn green and then we'll fill that in. Okay, now I want to do 6x6 though, so let's force that. And then we'll do the same thing in this one. Once again, we'll force the issue. And now we'll just reattach that road that we had. This guy comes right up into here. There we go. Nice. So that's going to be our first block. Those offices should fill in nicely. Okay, let's move on to our next block. And in this block, I want to do something really interesting here. I want to use some North American mixed-use housing, this one right here. And I want to start with a big 6x6 block right here. I want to force that into a 6x6 because there's a certain look that I'm going for. Let's see if we can just kind of keep painting away here, get those 6x6s. Ooh. A new signature building available. Okay, cool. Iron press building. Books to nourish the mind and soul with the luxury apartments on top. The bottom floor bookstore stocks everything from the ordinary to the esoteric. Nice. Add that to our collection. Very cool. All right, keep moving though. Let's see here. And then we're going to come back into this corner, do the same. There it goes. And then the last one here. So all 4 corners will get the same treatment. And now we're going to want to come down from the center here. We're just going to grab an alleyway, come straight out of the middle, and just come down. Maybe it's 16 meters or so. Yeah. And I want to come out at a 45-degree angle. Let's see if I can do that. 129, what is that? 121? 135 is the equivalent of 45. We'll do that. And we'll come out to here. Yeah. And then we'll come back in and do the same over here. And what that should do is give us a nice little 6x6 block in the middle. I'll come in here and attach, and in the center there, now I want to come in with a European high density. So let's go to European high density housing and just put that right in the center there. That'll grow nice and tall, and it should be framed up nicely with these North American mixed use houses in there. Let's move down over here now. And I like the kind of the concept we've got going on here, which was painting out the 4 corners. Let's do that with some low density office buildings here. And we're going to come back and force the issue. And then we'll do the same thing here. And then come back here and here. And now let's get that alleyway again. that little alley. We're just going to stem right off of here and come out 24. I'm going to turn off these snap to guidelines. 24 meters there. We'll come up from the bottom and do the same, 24 meters. We'll go out 24 on either side. And then I'm going to use our continuous curve. I'm going to take that out and bend that back in. Do the same thing on this side. There, and that leaves us with a pretty good sized square in the middle. And now I can come back in here and upgrade all these roads. Yeah, now I've got a nice big space where I can zone off, and I think I'm going to take a high density office this time and do a 5x5. And this is going to be a big building when it's all said and done. It'll fill in that space, give you a big pop of height. Let's skip down to this block right here along Pearl and Meridian, and I'm going to start with a pathway. I'm going to turn off all my snaps, and I'm just going to come right over here on the Meridian because I don't like that little, the little offset there. So I'm going to go right up against the road here, just as tight as I can, and push that right down along there. Yeah, that'll work out nicely. And then now I can grab some low density office, come back to our 6x6 format that we've been doing. And then I can come in behind it with an alley road. I'm going to turn off this snap to guidelines. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to push this out, and then I'm going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more and bring that up to our road here, just so I have room to get in another 6x6 there. Then I'll come down here maybe 32 meters, another 32 in there. And then I can extend this guy out for a ways. Let's just put it there for now. You can always come back and cut it off. And then let's paint in some of this low density office right here along this Valley Lane and Pearl Street. I'm going to do the same here. Okay, and that's facing the right direction. This one is not. Let's see if we can get it to turn around. Oh, look at that. It worked. Perfect. Now in this other space here, I want to put in another big, tall, high-density office building. Maybe put in a 6x6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll become a really big statement piece there on that, in that block. And then I think we can, decorate that up a little bit. Maybe take a couple little parks. Just put that in there. One there. Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be nice. Just frame it up ever so slightly. All right, with all that starting to fill in nicely, let's focus on this little block over here. I'm going to come in and first things first, take this level terrain tool and I'm going to carve this out. And I'm going to then grab my slope terrain tool. I'm going to start right down here from this little intersection. And then I want to go out and swerve that right back into there. And now I'm going to take my 2-lane road and I'm going to turn off this snap to guidelines. I'm going to start out from here and go down 24 meters. I'll do the same thing from the other side. And now I can take this complex curve, start from this point, come out 24, bring that down, and then just bring that in. And now I've got this nice little S-shaped road running right through there. And then I want to grab this slope terrain tool, just reestablish this slope. And then on the other side, I want to carve that back out again. I just want to make sure that it stays nice and low, a little bit lower. All right, so now we'll take our 2-lane road and we're going to start from this little corner back here. I just want to run straight back into this road here. Nice and straight. And then, yeah, so that should do that. Okay. And then I'm going to take an alley road and I'm just going to come straight up here and then across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this should be fine. And then I'll just bring that right back down into here. And that leaves us with a nice 6x6 block in there. And from there, I can just drop in a big, tall office building. Let's turn it around if we can, though. There we go. Let's come back to the other side of the street here. We can start on this side and we'll grab also a 2-lane road. And I want to come into a spot that's right about there. And I just want to run that back into our main road as well. And then I'll take my alleyway down over here, bring it back to about here actually. And if I run this back in like so, and then back into here, well, maybe it won't come back in there, but at least it leaves me with a nice 4x4 block. And that's what I want to zone up with another high density office building. So I'll put that in there. All right, so now it's just kind of this little wow, that sprouted quickly. Twin Towers office kind of complex that runs through here, and we can decorate that up. Wow, all the buildings are starting to pop in. Very nice. Okay, I like it. All right, let's turn our attention to this little space right back down in here. I can take an alley road off of here. We'll turn off that snap to guidelines. We'll run right straight up here and reconnect into that spot there. Yeah, that'll do the trick. And then I'm going to cut this road back. I'm going to start with a pathway because I want to secure our zoning squares once again. And then I should be able to come in here and do a 4x6 low density office right there. Yeah, that works out great. And then in here, I want to do like a 5x5. And then we're going to come back in here and do that was a 5x6. Maybe this will be a 5x5 instead. And then I can come in and do a 4x4. Actually, you know what? If I come in here and do this, yeah, I can make that another 5x5 in that spot. Let's do that. Yeah, okay, that's great. All right, those are going to pop in nicely. And I think I can delete these two roads now, these pathways, I should say. Yeah, that'll frame that little corner up just nicely. All right, cool. At least you jump across the arterial to the other side of the road now and start working on this. All right, let's have some fun on the other side of Pearl Street down here. And I'm going to start by putting it in a hospital. I guess that's not really all that fun. But we're going to come out, let's see here, from this center road. Oh, let's turn off those snap to guidelines about here. So let's just come right up here with a 2-lane road. And then I want to stem an alleyway off of it, just running right along parallel with this road down in front of us. Let's drop that hospital in. Let's just see how that fits into that. Oops, fits into that space. Yeah, I think it fits in there just right, doesn't it? It looks pretty cool on the on Pearl Street there. So let's spin back around here and turn our attention to this little square here. And that's where I'd like to put in a high rise. So I'm going to take an alley road here, come all the way off here, and then just run all the way back down over to here. And then ideally, I'd put in something that kind of comes in here at a diagonal. Ooh, this will be tight. We'll see if we can do it. And then grab a pavement path here and just turn off all the snaps. Going to run that right down along this edge here just to try and eliminate some of the conflicting squares. What does that leave us with? Okay, all right. You know, in fact, I don't even know if I need this road here. And then let's disconnect this one just for a second. Does it give me a 6x6? No. Oh, because I got all these guys going on here. So let's do that. Let's do this. Okay. So can I get a 6x6 building in there? Boom. Ooh, look at that. It lit up right away too. Now the question is, can I get my roads connected back in? Nice. And in fact, I think I'll try and sneak this guy back down into here. Well, I'll have to take that sidewalk out first. Let's see what happens. Good, and good. All right, cool. Let's reconnect down into there. Oh yeah, a nice big 6x6 tower is going to go into that spot. Very nice. All right, so let's drop a park in next. We're going to take a park, maybe one of these larger parks, something, yeah, large city park. Does that look good in there? Put it right in that corner. Sure, that looks good. And then I want to come back to some low density office, some 6x6. There we go. And then another 6x6. And now let's come in with a high density office right next to it. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, yeah. And then another low density right next to it. And then they can drop in a path. Let's just run a path right behind it. Yeah, something like that. And then we're going to grab a couple of high density offices, but not super tall. We'll go 3x4. And then I'll come in and do the same thing over here, 3x4. And then low density, we'll just go 4x3 right there. Yeah, frame up that park with those. Ooh, yeah, I think this is going to look really nice in here. All right, so for the next step, we're going to come down here, and I want to take that North American mixed-use housing again as well. Yeah, North American mixed-use housing. Let's come in here and do 6x6 blocks. There you go. And then just kind of come right down this street here doing 6x6. There we go. And I think that's going to be a really nice little row of homes there. And then let's come in behind it with a pedestrian road. We'll start it from right here, just run straight down behind it, connecting there. Yeah, like that. And then I want to come out maybe 4 and just create this nice, I don't know, like a little walking mall kind of a area there. Yeah, okay. And then the next step is to come into this space right by the hospital here and create a bus station. Just kind of an organic one here. So if I take, maybe it's a one-way, one-lane road and just kind of come out here, come down one and do the same and do the same. Yeah. And then I'll grab my one-way public transport line. I'll come right off of here and just run it right straight through. And then I'll do the same thing again. Connect that up there. In fact, I think I want to take another swipe at this one back here just to be safe. So let's just come from here and come all the way out to there. And then we can trim off the edges. Boom, boom. And now we can come in and drop in our little bus shelters. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, there you go. All right, now we've got a nice little bus stop there right outside of the hospital. I like it. All right, now let's step back here just behind the bus station and put in some new buildings. Let's go with a European high density commercial block. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big block right in there. And then I want to take a high density office and go 3 by 6 in there. Yeah. And then let's get some commercial. Again, back to European style. We're going to go little 2 by 2s right down here along this road. Cute little corner shops. Yeah. That block should turn out nicely. And now we can focus our attention on this one down here. For this block, I'm going to start off again with North American mixed use. So let's grab that. And I'm going to take and go 4, 5, 6 by 4. Yeah. And then we'll go 3 by 4. Yeah, that's nice. And now let's get a big old EU residential. So European, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. Yeah, that's cool. And now let's grab some offices. I think, can I do a low density office that fits in there? Yeah, that's nice. And then I want to grab a shop here. Maybe go back 2 by 6. And then another low density office just tucked in right there. 2 by 3, huh? Does that not work? No. Maybe we'll change it to commercial then. Let's do that. Does commercial work in that space? Yeah, it does. Okay, fills it in nicely. Great, great. All right, now I really like the way that this is coming together on this side of town. Okay, so now that's really starting to take shape, but there's still one more piece that I want to put in, and it goes in over in this space here. It's a big piece, so we're going to start by clearing out some roads here, and then I'm going to grab my level terrain tool and just kind of press this down all so that I've got a good elevation all the way running through here. There we go. There we go. Very nice. And the piece that I want to drop in here, it's in the administration tab. So let's go here, and then it is the central bank. Yeah, this thing. It is a beast. It's just huge. And let's just see if we can get that in here. Yeah, kind of nice and close to that rail line there without getting too close. There. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. And then what I'll do is I'll take a 2-lane road here. We'll run that right off the middle, and I want to run this right straight out into this road here. A nice angle straight into that. We'll bring this right straight down into this road here. And then I'll connect this road up straight into here, and I'll just run it right straight past, and we can cut that off. And then we're going to come in here with a 2-lane road. We'll come up here till we hit the side of the building, and we'll angle on out. We'll go right past it if we have to. We'll take an alley road, and we're just going to run right along here until we connect up. Yeah. And then I want to take that alley road and connect that up into this space. Just make my way right around the building. Yeah, now the central bank is a cool piece because look at this. You get minus 5% import costs citywide, and then plus 5% export profits citywide. And then, of course, minus 2% on loan interest, but we don't have any loans taken out, so that's not a factor for us. But actually, money doesn't seem to be a factor for us either. Okay, so now we've got all of our big pieces in place, and it's really starting to look good. There's one more little one that I want to take care of, though, and that's right down in this space here. I'd like to drop in a tram stop, if I could, and I'm just going to take my level terrain tool. I'm going to push this out a little bit, just to create like a little platform here, and then I'll take a pedestrian road. Just come right out of the center here, 24 meters, go up 24, go down 24, and then I'll move over to our transportation tab, hit our tram line, upgrade our tram track, one-way tram track running through there. And now I can turn on my complex curve, come out of this corner right here, and I'll run out, let's just say to about here, come up to there, I'll do it right there, and then I'll come into here.
right to that end. Okay, cool. And then what I can do is I can turn off this, or I can hit the replace button, but turn off all my snaps, and then I'll just gently glide that up if I can, so that it just softens up that curve. Let's see. Yeah, that curve is nice and soft up here now, so that's a really good look. And let's come back down here and do the same thing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it's a nice little tram stop. It'll allow us to take a tram line and detour that off into here and pick up some passengers and make their way further in and around the city. So I like the way that looks. Okay, guys and gals, this feels like a really good spot for us to jump in and do a beautification time lapse. We've got quite a bit of work ahead of us, but I think it's going to turn out really, really nicely. I'll tidy up, maybe put a little park here in front of the central bank. I'm going to go through this walking mall and just create some nice paths in here. And then I'm going to turn my focus on this bus station a little bit. Yes, let's make that a lot prettier, and we can set up some bus lines, make it functional. There are lots of opportunities around some of our taller buildings where we have plazas, and we can really make those pop. Adding some trees, sidewalks, plantings, floral, you name it. And then, of course, our tram stop that we just put together, we'll go ahead and make that look a little nicer too. So all in all, I like where we're going. All right, so why don't you guys sit back, relax, enjoy the time lapse, and let's meet back up here afterwards and recap our sculpture. And welcome back from the time lapse, back into downtown. I sure do like the way this is shaping up. We have put in a whole bunch of new buildings that we've never worked with before, and we added a bunch of skyscrapers, as you can see, and this space is really starting to stack up here, and it's really becoming obvious that this is the downtown of Pengasas Bay. Well, we've got a lot to unpack in this episode. Let's just jump right on in. We started down in this corner here with this parking garage because we're going to see a lot more cars in the area with all of the high-density buildings, and people are going to need places to park. And then in our next block over, we built in this big residential complex with some North American mixed-use buildings right around the frame of it, and then this offset European high-density residential tower. So it's got great angled views of the big roundabout out front here. It's just a really cool place to live. And then if you jump into the block right behind it here, we've got the similar concept with low-density offices that are around the outside and a high-density office tower right smack in the middle of it. Very similar look, just a slightly different approach. Jumping into this next block here, we have our twin towers, and that's a 6x6 building here, and then a 4x4 building over here. Now that 6x6, as you recall, we dug that out, and I put in a nice little retaining wall that makes its way all the way around there so that it's, kind of got its own space. I framed it up nicely with some of those retaining walls, lots of bushes and plantings and trees, and it makes for a really nice little plaza, sunken plaza, if you will, down around that office space. And then our 4x4 building here, that's the first major building that you see as you're coming across the bridge from North Amundsen into downtown, so it's a nice statement piece. Now, if we jump down to this building here, first of all, you've got a little 3- and 4-story office buildings down here, but then you've got this monster tower right in the middle. It's the tallest tower in downtown so far, and I really love the way that thing looks up there. Then if you jump across the road here, across Pearl Street to this building right here, it's an offset building right at the intersection of Pearl Street and Meridian Boulevard. And this turned out really nicely with this big plaza in here. It's a nice offset angle, and it's a nice statement piece as you look out into the west part of the bay as well. Now down inside there, we put in a little retaining wall, and it's tough to see with the shadows, but little sunken gardens down in here with a little retaining wall and just some nice plantings out here in front. Now, the next block down is a combination of low-rise office buildings and high-rise office buildings. The towers are pretty good size here. You can see this tallest tower is the same as the offset angle one here, but these two little towers are, maybe about 25 stories. So it adds a pop of height, but it's not really overbearing in the space. And then if we dive down in here, this is going to be tough to do. Yeah, we did it. Okay, so we've got our little bus station down here that's reminiscent of all the other bus stations kind of scattered throughout the city of Pengasas Bay. This has got 3 lines that are serving, let's see now, it's North Amundsen and the tram station, and then all the way back over into Crestwind Cape. So we've got good connectivity in this space. And then you see our big hospital in here. I sure do love having this hospital right on the edge of Pearl Street in the background. And I use these walking paths as kind of these little retaining wall, maybe decorations out in front of it. And it just kind of gives it a finished off look and feel. And if you spin around to the backside of it too, I've got a similar approach here with using those walking paths as well. But it really gives some separation between the hospital and the very busy Pearl Street right behind it. Okay, let's make our way into our little walking mall here, and we've got some nice plantings that are down in there, and it's again our walking mall that makes its way out to the future build, which is going to be out here along the shoreline. We've got some commercial in this space, we've got some office in this space, and then we've got some residential that are right down here along this southernmost point. Now, speaking of residential, I've got a lot of mixed-use buildings here that are down along this major couplet street. Then we even dropped in a little underground parking garage. Now, if that couplet street looks different to you, it's because it is. I just kind of got a bug during the time lapse, and I thought, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I wanted to create something that's going to be a little bit more similar to what I had going on up the hill behind it. It's the same kind of a configuration, it's just a little wider, and I didn't really care for that big flare out that was going out into this corner. And the other thing it did is it allowed for a little bit more green space between the couplet and the residential buildings over on this side and the big bank on this side. We dropped in our central bank on this side. What an odd space that we had here to try and fill up, and I thought this was just the perfect building to do it. And I really love the way that sits right up above the rail line there, and you can see the freeway down below, and It's just this big, massive piece sitting in this corner. I continued those gardens that they have out front over here into this triangular space as well, just to kind of create some consistency and uniformity. And I really do like the way that that turned out. And then I also dropped in this little transformer station over here because I just was a little concerned about us taxing our power grid in the downtown space. All right, well, that's everything today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun today. Oh, the rain's starting to fall here in Pengasas Bay. I think we're getting out of here just in time. Now, just as a reminder, we're a small but growing channel thanks to your support. You guys have been really showing your support lately with all the new subscriptions, and I can't thank you enough. If you guys saw something that you liked today, please be sure to drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And while you're at it, make sure to chip away at that like button and hammer that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest here in Pengasas Bay and the Grand Vanillica series as well. Okay, with that, I'm going to bid you guys a fond farewell. And until next time, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.